Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all. It's been a very good panel. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Ragland, and very much appreciate your thoughtful work in the soybean area. You've given us a lot of good information, and your organization's been very helpful. This morning, it was released by some researchers that since the inauguration on January 20th, Trump administration officials have announced new or revised tariff policies more than 50 times. And one research analysis said it was 50 times, one said it was 55, but the fact is it's been something that has been again and again and again. What does that mean for agriculture and soybeans, Mr. Ragland? It seems to me, because I met with wheat farmers in Eastern Oregon just a little bit ago, they said more than anything we want some predictability and some certainty. Give us that. Whatever else you guys do in D.C., and who knows what goes on back there, give us some predictability and certainty. What happens when you change your mind 50 times?
Well, it gives our customers uncertainty in their minds and gives them the reason to look for other sources that are more dependable. When we have established these long-term relationships, I mean, with China, for example, we've been working there since 1982 to establish that relationship. And then with the stroke of a pen, we can damage that severely. Before the first trade war, 1 in 3 rows of soybeans from the U.S. went to China. Last year, it was 1 row out of 4. And it can go down significantly quickly and hurt the economic opportunities for our farmers. We are struggling already, and a trade war adds severe pain to the farmers, not just soybeans, but exports are over half of our total production. We must have them. We don't need to give our customers an excuse to go to Brazil. And Brazil has overtaken us as the leader in soybean production. I hope my colleagues heard that these incredibly flawed trade policies are driving customers that would look at the United States to Brazil. Please just continue. One other thing I would add, approximately 90 million acres are grown of soybeans year in, year out in the U.S. Brazil right now has the potential to add up to 270 million more acres that is in pasture right now. There is nearly unlimited opportunity. If we give excuses for our customers to look elsewhere, they will, and they have. We have a precedent. And furthermore, China has invested significantly in infrastructure in Brazil to help them get their product to market. Right now, we have better infrastructure, but they're gaining on us. And this is very concerning for a soybean farmer and our future.
Thank you, and we appreciate your leadership. Let me go to you, Ms. Beskarin. That Republicans in the House voted this morning to repeal the single best tool in the toolbox to incentivize growth in minerals and energy supply chains, the IRA tax credits. We wrote them in this room. And my thought from the very beginning, the technological neutrality feature and the fact that there were no mandates would be a huge success. I continue to believe that it is still in the markets, but there is no question that the Republicans in the House are acting to remove those IRA tax credits. The Trump chaotic tariffs added to the tax credits looks to me like a double whammy against the ability to have these promising new industries and resourcing in America. What do you think about that? And what's your counsel, particularly given the fact we've got changes 50 times when you need some predictability?
Thank you, Senator. One of the most important things, we sometimes think about building mineral supply alone. We're going to make more, but the minerals have to go somewhere. We need a demand signal, and the Inflation Reduction Act was an important demand signal.
Don't put it in the past tense. We aren't giving
up. It is a very important demand signal.
Thank you.
But I want to go one step past that because, you know, one of the dilemmas with the CHIPS and Science Act, the $280 billion that was allocated, is there was actually no mineral sourcing provision for the CHIPS and Science Act, which meant that there was no money allocated to sourcing minerals. So we remain today reliant on China and Russia for commodities like germanium, gallium, polysilicon, and these are really critical minerals because there's no incentive. So the Inflation Reduction Act is critical. It stimulated mineral demand. At the end of the day, the defense industry is a critical off-taker of minerals, but it's small. We might build 100 satellites. We don't build 10,000. So for mining companies to have the incentive to invest in those large scales, electric vehicles vehicles, automotives are going to be absolutely critical. But we should also think about expanding and thinking, how do we ensure that we have mineral incentives to source for the defense industry, for the semiconductor industry? So there's a lot we can take from the IRA being critical and expanding it to ensure that we're sourcing mineral incentives across industries.
Thank you. And just one quick question, if I can get it in, and I thank you, Mr. Chairman. Donald Trump, with respect to the CHIPS Act, said, quote, "It's horrible, horrible thing." And a lot of members on this committee were involved in putting this together. He wants to repeal it. Question to you, Mr. Isaacs, wouldn't you like to build on the CHIPS Act rather than tear it apart?
Thank you, Senator. Absolutely, it should be built upon. You know, the CHIPS Act got initiated during the first Trump administration, and it was authorized in the defense bill during his first term. And I think it's wholly consistent with the Trump administration policies about revitalizing American manufacturing and growing American technology leadership. And I think it's proven to be highly successful to date throughout the supply chain in attracting investment. The numbers speak for themselves, and we need to maintain that momentum through the tax policy that I referenced earlier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Grassley.
Yeah.